Hello traders, Adam Hansen here for ValorTrader.com and welcome to this introductory video for FXMaximal EA. Now those of you that are perhaps not familiar with how I run these reviews, basically what it is, we'll be starting out on a demo account, and that's purely just so we can get a feel for how it trades and be comfortable with the settings that we're using. And every week I'll be bringing you a video tracking its performance. Now, if it performs well from there over that period, we will look to move the program from demo onto our live account. Now, those of you that have been following FXMaximal for a while now may be aware that up to this point it has actually performed quite well. And we can track that performance by the vendor's account here, which is a verified MyFXBook account. And although we don't know a lot about how it trades at this early stage, what I can tell you is that it's a scalping strategy and that it trades off the 15-minute time frame. It also uses a dynamic stop loss. So when it opens a trade, it will have a fixed stop. However, that stop loss will be moved based on any number of variables as determined by the program. So the first thing I just want to go through is the setting up process and also my experience with the developer so far. So when you subscribe to FXMaximal, you'll receive everything within a zip file. Now, if you have WinZip, that's fine, you can use that. However, if you don't, there are a number of free alternatives, open source alternatives available on the internet that you can use to open .rar files, which you'll need to get access to the folder. So once you have that, you'll see that there is an individual EA for each pair that the program trades, and you'll also see a instruction manual. Now, one thing I did notice with the instruction manual, it's quite easy to tell that obviously the developer's first language is not English. That's fine. We're not going to hold that against him. But I did notice an error within the manual, or at least my interpretation was that it was an error in terms of the lot sizing. It will say, or it will suggest, that the lot sizing to be used is 0.01 lots per $100 of starting account balance. Once again, that's at least how I interpreted it. However, my thinking was that, okay, I'm using a $10,000 demo account, so I'll leave it as 0.01 lots if I wish to trade 1 lot per trade. However, what I quickly noticed when it started opening trades was that the 0.01 was actually the lot size that it used. So you need to adjust the lot sizing to whatever position sizing you want to use. The developer has used 4 standard lots across the board, which, I mean, considering he had a starting balance of $2,000, 4 standard lots might be a little bit rich for some people. But once again, it's all based on your own preference. I was running it on a $10,000 demo account, so I wanted to use 1 standard lot across the board, so I would then adjust it to 1 standard lot, not as it suggested, which was 0.01 lots per $100. Okay, so once you've corrected that, the next thing you need to confirm with the developer is your broker server time. This is important as this will affect how the program trades. The original programs that he sent me were incorrect, but he picked up that I will need to have the correct ones for my broker server time, which was GMT plus 3. So if you subscribe to FXMaximal, make sure that you confirm with the developer your broker server time so that he can send you the correct programs. Now, the developer has also produced some other programs, namely, I think, FX Predator, Adaptive Trader Pro, and also, I think, Auto Breakout Pro. Now, I think it was Auto Breakout Pro in particular, which had received some negative press in terms of customers feeling that they had not received what they thought they were paying for, and also with communication with the developer. Now, all I really have to go on at this point is my own personal experience with the developer. Every email I've sent has been responded to within 24 hours, And in terms of the programs that I've received, well, I'll reiterate that it was actually the developer which picked up that he'd sent me the wrong ones for my broker server time. So he picked that up and sent me the correct ones for my broker. So I don't really have any problems with the developer personally at this point. However, if that does indeed change, I'll be sure to let you know. Now, if we just have a look at some of the performance that the program's been able to achieve via the developer's account, which according to this information up here is a real account. Now, as you can see, once again, started with a balance of $2,000, and so far since September last year has been able to achieve a 61.97% return per month, whilst only suffering a 6.88% drawdown at any point. Now, one important thing to note with this is that the account has not been updated since April 22 at 11:02, and today's date is the 9th of May. So there is one very, very good reason for that. What happened was that the program opened some trades on the 22nd, I think it was, right before, actually no, it would have been the 21st. It was Friday the 21st it opened some trades and carried them over the weekend. Now that weekend was pretty special because it was the French preliminary elections, which if you'd been following the charts, you would remember that there was some massive gaps in the market over that weekend based on what came out of that. Now, FXMaximal had some trades placed on the Friday, which obviously went against the gaps and caused the vendor to suffer some quite substantial floating losses. There were some recognized losses, however there are also some floating losses, which I have a feeling the developer is waiting for them to correct before updating the account. And when I say correct, I mean either retrace to the point where they're either in profit or perhaps not so substantial. Now, that sort of behavior, it's not very transparent. I don't really like seeing that. But again, that's the developer's prerogative. There is no doubting that up to this point, the system itself has been quite successful. And I feel it could continue to be successful with some human intervention, which is why for our test, what we'll be doing is we will be shutting off auto trading on Friday morning. This is basically to, with the system being a scalping strategy, we don't want it to be holding trades over the weekend. It is quite common for large gaps to form in the markets, as we saw, and that happens quite regularly over any weekend. The gaps on the 23rd, 24th were obviously a lot larger than normal, but gaps do form on a regular basis over weekends. So we don't want this scalping strategy to be holding trades over the weekend. There is no need for that. The strategy itself appears to be quite successful without exposing it to any undue risk. So we'll be closing off auto trading on Friday morning, so it doesn't open any new trades on Friday morning. Any trades carried over from Thursday into Friday will be closed at my discretion, hopefully in profit. But I mean, if it comes to the point where we need to close them before the weekend, we will do so. Okay, so let's just have a look at some of the pairs that the program trades under summary. Now, something you might notice when you subscribe to FXMaximal is that you'll actually receive robots for pairs that aren't listed here. So based on the vendor's account results, which if we go to history, we can see that prior to this point here, every trade was placed on either the euro dollar, pound dollar, or Aussie dollar. Only after this point here did we start seeing trades on other pairs. Now, his results may reflect that around, I think 97% of the trades at the moment are placed on either of those three pairs, euro dollar, pound dollar, or Aussie dollar. But our results so far, and also the other results that I've seen across the internet suggests that it is quite a fair bit more spread out between, I think it's around 11 or 12 pairs, which is good. I mean, it's good that we're spreading the risk around. One weakness I can see to this program from the outset is that each pair requires its own EA. So I'm not sure how each robot differs, whether it is purely just the stop loss and the take profit that it has set when it opens the trade, or if there is actually variations to the logic and they've been optimized for each particular pair. The weakness in that is that we've got one EA for each pair. So if the pair changes its behavior, then that robot may or may not perform down the line. It would be a different story if, for example, if we had one robot with that could be traded across all of the pairs. Then we would know that, okay, it's optimized for all of those currencies. So it's far more robust in terms of if one currency pair down the line potentially changes its behavior. When you've got one EA per pair, if that currency pair changes its market behavior down the line, then it's quite possible that that EA will no longer perform on that pair or any of the other pairs. So it's just something to keep in mind, and that's something that we'll be looking at. Not that we're expecting any changes over our test period, but if you indeed subscribe to FXMaximal, it'll be something that you'll need to be mindful of, and just keep an eye on if the performance of any of the robots changes dramatically, then you may want to look at whether or not to keep that pair on board. Now I'll just jump across to the ValaTrader MyFXBook account for FXMaximal, and you can see here, this is what I was referring to before. We had 6 trades open, they all opened overnight, so I was unable to adjust the lot sizing any earlier, but that's the what I was talking about before, how you need to set the lot sizing for the overall position that you want, not per $100. So we've adjusted that, and thus far, I mean, although it is way too early to judge any results that we're seeing, it does appear to be trading how I would have expected it based on the results that I could see on the developers page. Now I'll just head across to the reviews so far on the ValaTrader website, and we'll just have a look at the backtesting results. Bit of a mixed bag. We've got some that have performed really well and others not so. Now backtesting, especially with scalping strategies, can be, or it needs to be taken with a grain of salt. Past performance, particularly with scalping strategies, does not guarantee future results, but they are what we tested for. Some of the results is using Global Prime data, which is the broker we're using for the demo. However, Global Prime did not have some of the data for a few of these pairs, so we actually had to import it from AxiTrader, and we've incorporated that with Global Prime spreads. Now, FXMaximal does have 2 options available. It has the standard option at $323, and with that you get 1 real account license and also 1 demo account license, or the premium option, which comes with 3 real account licenses and 1 demo account license. Now, as far as a return policy is concerned, this is marketed through Click to Sell, which does offer a 90-day return policy. The developer has added onto that if you don't see any results, or if your results are poor, after 60 days to let the developer know, and he will be able to issue the refund. Now, if we just head across to the charts that we'll be using, this is the demo account that we will be running the programs on. As you can see, the program, or the pairs that we received robots for were Aussie CAD, Aussie dollar, Euro Aussie, Euro CAD, Euro Swiss, Euro pound, Euro dollar, pound Aussie, pound CAD, pound Swiss, pound dollar, dollar CAD, dollar Swiss, and that is a duplicate chart. That's actually running the MyFX book auto update. So as I mentioned earlier, we will be bringing you a video every week tracking the performance of FXMaximal. We'll run it for a period, not sure how long yet. We'll be running it on demo just until we've seen enough to be able to justify either pulling the pin or moving it across to our live account. So that will be a discretionary based decision, but you can follow along with us. If you've liked this video, please ensure to give it a thumbs up, and you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel to make sure that you stay up to date with how FXMaximal is performing. And you can also see the full review by the ValiTrader website. That's VALITrader.com. So until next week, guys, happy trading and bye for now.